cancer. I went, I went, um, I went to several health food stores and brought every book I they had on the subject of cancer. I went to the library and did more reading. I checked out foot reflexology and colon therapy and thought they both would be beneficial for me. I seemed to be led to exactly the right people. After reading about foot reflexology, I wanted to find a practitioner. I attended a lecture, and while I usually sat in the front row, this night I was compelled to sit in the back. Within a minute, a man came and sat beside me, and guess what? He was a foot reflexologist who visited the home. He came to me 3 times a week for 2 months and was a great help. I knew I also had to love myself a great deal more than I was. There was little love expressed in my childhood, and no one had made it okay for me to feel good about myself. I had adopted their attitudes of continually picking on and criticizing me, which had become second nature. I had to come to the realization through my work with the church that it was okay and even essential for me to love and approve of myself. Yet I kept putting it off, rather like the diet you always start tomorrow. But I could no longer put it off. At first, it was very difficult for me to do things like stand in front of the mirror and say things like, Louise, I love you. I really love you. However, as I persisted, I found that several situations came up in my life where in the past I would have berated myself. And now, because of the mirror exercise and other work, I was not doing so. I was making some progress. I knew I had to clear the patterns of resentment I had been holding since childhood. It was imperative for me to let go of the blame. Yes, I had had a very difficult childhood with a lot of abuse, mental, physical, and sexual. But that was many years ago. And it was no excuse for the way I was treating myself now. I was literally, I was literally eating my body with cancerous growth because I had not forgiven. It was the time for me to go beyond the incidents themselves and to begin to understand what types of experiences could have created people who would treat a child that way. With the help of a good therapist, I expressed all the old bottled up anger by beating pillows and howling with rage. This made me feel cleaner. Then I began to piece together the scraps of stories my parents had told me of their own childhoods. I started to see a larger picture of their lives. With my growing understanding and from an adult viewpoint, I began to have compassion for their, and the blame slowly began to dissolve. In addition, I hunted for a good nutritionist to help me cleanse and detoxify my body from all the junky food I had eaten over the years. I learned that junky foods accumulate and create a toxic body. Junky thoughts accumulate and create toxic conditions in the mind. I was given a very strict diet with a lot of green vegetables and not much else. I even had colonics 3 times a week for the first month. I did not have an operation, however, as a result of all the thorough mental and physical cleansing. 6 months after my diagnosis, I was able to get the medical profession to agree with what I already knew, that I no longer had even a trace of cancer. Now I knew from personal experience that this disease can be healed if we are willing to change the way we think and believe and act. Sometimes what seems to be a big tragedy turns out to become the greatest good in our lives. I learned so much from the experience and I came to value life in a new way. I began to look at what was really important to me and I made a decision finally to leave the treeless city of New York and its extreme weather. Some of my clients insisted they would die if I left them, and I assured them I would be back twice a year to check on their progress, and telephones can reach everywhere. So I closed my business and took a leisurely train trip to California, deciding to use Los Angeles as a starting point. Even though I had been born here many years before, I knew almost no one anymore except for my mother and sister. We both now lived on the outskirts, about an hour away. We have never been a close family, nor an open one. But still, I was unpleasantly surprised to learn that my mother had been blind for many years and no one had bothered to tell me. My sister was too busy to see me, so I let her be and began to set up my new life. My little book, Heal Your Body, opened many doors for me. I began to go to every new age type of meeting I could find. I would introduce myself and, when appropriate, give out a copy of the little book. For the first 6 months, I went to the beach a lot, knowing that when I became busy, there would be less time for such leisurely pursuits. Slowly, the clients appeared. I was asked to speak here and there, and things began to come together as Los Angeles welcomed me. Within a couple of years, I was able to move into a lovely home. My new lifestyle in Los Angeles was a large jump in consciousness from my early upbringing. Things were going smoothly indeed. How swiftly our lives can change completely. One night, I received a phone call from my sister, the first call in 2 years. She told me that our mother, now 90, blind and almost deaf, had fallen and broken her back. In one moment, my mother went from being a strong, independent woman to being a helpless child in pain. She broke her back and also broke open the wall of secrecy around my sister. Finally, we were all beginning to communicate. I discovered that my sister also had a severe back problem that impaired her sitting and walking, and which was very painful. She suffered in silence, and though she looked anorexic, her husband did not know she was ill. After spending a month in the hospital, my mother was ready to go home, but in no way she could take care of herself. So she came to live with me. Though trusting in the process of life, I did not know how I could handle it all. So I said to God, "Okay, I will take care of her, but you have to give me help and you have to provide the money." It was quite an adjustment for both of us. She arrived on a Saturday, and the following Friday I had to go to San Francisco for 4 days. I could not leave her alone, and I had to go. I said, "God, you handle this. I have to leave the right person to help us before I leave. I have to have the right person." On the following Thursday, the perfect person had appeared and moved in to organize my home for my mother and me. It was another confirmation of one of my basic beliefs. Whatever I need to know is revealed to me, and whatever I need comes to me in divine right order. I realized it was lesson time for me once again. Here was an opportunity to clean up a lot of garbage from childhood. My mother had not been able to protect me when I was a child. However, I could and would take care of her now. Between my mother and my sister, a new whole adventure began. To give my sister the help she asked for presented another challenge. I learned that when I had rescued my mother so many years ago, my stepfather then turned his rage and pain against my sister, and it was her turn to be brutalized. I realized what I realized that what started out to be a physical problem was then greatly exaggerated by fear and tension, plus the belief that no one could help her. So here was Louise, not wanting to be a rescuer and yet wanting to give her sister an opportunity to choose wellness at this point in her life. Slowly, the unraveling began, and now today it's still going on. We progress step by step as I provide an atmosphere of safety while we explore various avenues of healing. My mother, on the other hand, responds very well. She exercises as best she can 4 times a day. Her body gets stronger and more flexible. I took her to get a hearing aid and she became more interested in life. In spite of her Christian Science beliefs, I persuaded her to have a cataract removed from one eye, with a joy for her to begin to see again and for us to see the world through her eyes. She is so pleased to read again. My mother and I began to find time to sit and talk to each other in ways we had never done before. A new understanding developed between us. Today we both became freer as we cry and laugh and hug together. Sometimes she pushes my buttons, which only tells me there is something further for me to clear. My mother left the planet peacefully several years ago. I miss her and love her. We completed all we could together, and now we are both free. Afterward, it's hard to believe that more than 30 years ago have gone by since I first wrote You Can Heal Your Life. During this time, the book had been translated into 42 different languages, has become available in more than 132 different countries, and has now sold over 40 million copies throughout the world. When I first wrote You Can Heal Your Life, my original dream was to go beyond the students in my workshop and reach as many other people as possible in order to help them change their lives for the better. Little did I know how the universe would fulfill this dream and how many people would really be helped. From the moment this book was written, it seems that life has said this book must go out. It must be available worldwide. I think the success of this work is due to the fact that I have the ability to help people change and learn to love themselves without laying guilt on them. I also think the simplicity of the message helps it to cross over many different cultures with success. At a trade fair, at a trade book fair in Los Angeles, Book Expo America, I met a man who told me that I am a best selling author in his bookstore in Kathmandu, Nepal. I keep his business card on my desk as a reminder for the extraordinary connection I have with people everywhere. And today, the internet brings me masses of mail from all over the globe each month. Many of these letters are from young people who find the message just as relevant and healing as did those who first read it 30 years ago. So much has happened over the years. For 6.5 years, 3 decades ago, I spent time working with people with AIDS. It began with 6 men in my living room in Los Angeles one evening, and in couple of years grew to a week to into a to a weekly meeting of more than 800 people. I call it the hayride. This was such a growing period for me. My heart was constantly being stretched. I will remember those experiences for the rest of my life. It had a long life and continued even after I moved out of town. But the Hayride support group no longer exists in West Hollywood. Sometimes after I wrote You Can Heal Your Life, several of the Hayride people went on the Oprah show with me to put out positive message about AIDS. The same week I appeared on Donahue with Dr. Bernie Siegel. You Can Heal Your Life hit the New York Times bestseller list and stayed there for 14 weeks. I was in constant awe of how life was moving me in so many directions. I was working 10 hours days, 7 days of a week for a long period of time. Life goes in cycles. There is a time to do certain thing and then there is a time to move on. For many years, I had the pleasure of spending much of my time in my garden creating compost and feeding the earth. Really healthy soil grows fresh flowers and fruits that are spectacular. I also grew most of the food I ate. Then I tried living in a high rise condominium in downtown San Diego for a while. I thought having a terrace would be enough for my gardening needs, but it wasn't. Now I've come back to the soil and happily spent every free moment I have digging in the earth, planting and harvesting fruits and vegetables. There is nothing more delicious and healthy than fresh picked produce. Painting had been on my wish list for a long time, and I had dabbled a bit over the years and taken a few classes. I have had two wonderful art teachers who really advanced my painting ability. Lynn Hayes, who taught me to paint large oil portraits, and Linda Bounce, who, besides inspiring me, also encourages in Alzheimer's patients to participate in group classes where they all work in large on one large painting. The only time these patients speak normally is when they are in Linda's class. Painting has certainly enlarged my creative boundaries as well as those of others. Over the last 25 years, I've also rescued several animals. I told each one I cannot do anything about your past. However, I promise you that you will live a life of love and joy for the rest of your days. They all lived out their allotted time and have now moved on. My intuition tells me not to have any more animals for the time being, as I need to be free to move around the world. Besides, I have neighbors on both sides who have dogs, so it's easy for me to get my daily animal fix. On the early days, there were few people doing the kind of work I was, and I felt the need to be everywhere, teaching constantly. Now there are so many good teachers out there that I no longer feel the pressure personally rescue anyone. I have written more than 30 books. I have produced numerous audios and videos, so there's plenty of material for people to study. I have cut down my speaking schedule to almost nothing and now work behind the scenes supporting new authors and talented teachers. Another first for me came in 2008 when I made my first movie. Many women in the film industry who are 35 cannot get parts because they are considered too old. At 81, I got my turn to be a star. A number of people over the years have wanted to film the story of my life, but I just never felt as if the right person had come along. In late 2007, life brought to me director Michael A. Gorgian. I looked into his kind eyes and saw his gentle smile, and my heart said, yes, this is the one. Although Michael and filmmaker Noah Benek Larson were newcomers to my way of thinking, I knew that filming process and the long editing process would give them the time to allow these ideas to sink into their consciousness. Not only is You Can Heal Your Life, the movie, a success, but everyone involved in the filmmaking process has seen positive changes occur in their lives. So, guys, let me know if you want to watch this movie. We can have a screening of this because I have a copy, a CD of this movie also. Like I have it in my laptop. So any of the time when we decide that we can do a movie screening, we'll do that. Reading
Priya,
books.
do you want me to read Age? Should I read? I'm sure you
Uh,
are tired.
no, it's okay. It's just two more pages, and then there
Okay.
is a affirmation treatment. And then there is a big affirmation treatment, which is very wonderful. So I want all of you to pay attention and we'll do it the way we do it in every reading. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly finish reading this. Why I'm telling you all this is that it's a lot about the work Louise has done already. So today we might go beyond 1 o'clock if it's okay, but I'm just trying to finish it as soon as possible. Reading books is good, but there's something about watching a film that brings the message deeper into one's consciousness. I have received innumerable letters telling me about the positive effects this film has had on people. The most dramatic was from a man who had spent 5 years in Japanese intimate camp. And after watching this film, he was finally able to forgive his captors and free himself from all the bitterness he'd carried with him for so many years. There has been enormous interest in the film, and I taped two more shows with Oprah, talking about both the book and the movie. As it happened more than 2 decades ago, my book, You Can Heal Your Life, was on the New York Times best list for 14 weeks, and then it went back on the list 22 years later, which was almost unheard of. When I first printed You Can Heal Your Life, I started a publishing company called Hay House to self publish my book. Since I then believed that no other publisher would have published it back when these thoughts were considered so radical. At that time, there wasn't even a self help section in the bookstore. Today, more than half of New York Times bestsellers are self help books. How the consciousness of people has changed. It feels good to know that I was one of the early pioneers of spreading the message that we all do have the ability to improve the quality of our lives. Based in California, Hay House has since grown to be one of the world's top publishers in the self-help mind body spirit field. We now even have offices in Australia, the UK, South Africa, India, and New York City. All these changes were beyond my wildest dreams in the beginning. All I wanted to do was to help people I couldn't see personally. I truly believe that the growth of Hay House has been supervised by the universe itself. When we choose a book to publish, it's always something that helps others improve themselves. I love supporting promising authors who are helping change people's life. I am blessed to have excellent people running Hay House Publishing for me. Reed Tracy, President and CEO, is invaluable to me and to the company. His insights have helped take my messages and those of our other splendid authors to the ends of the planet. Shelley Anderson, my personal assistant, is also invaluable. I love all the people who work in the editorial art, publicity, customer care, marketing, sales, accounting, and radio areas, as well as those who work in the warehouse. They all make up the wonderful mix of Hay House family that makes us all so successful. I believe we shall all continue to bring our high level of information to the world for many years to come, blessing and prospering all those we touch. An astrologer once told me that I was born, there was a configuration in my chart so that showed I would be helping many people on a one on one basis. Of course, 86 years ago, tape recorders had not been invented, so it would be hard to interpret the configuration. However, because of the miracle of technology, the sound of my voice on tape and now on CD and in other audio formats accompanies thousands of people to bed each night. My voice can put anyone to sleep. As a result, many people whom I have never met feel that they know me because we spend so many intimate moments together. One of the wonderful things about what I do is to give me the opportunity to be greeted with love almost everywhere I go. People feel that I'm an old friend who has helped them through many a sticky moment. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause here and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the wonderful mirror work that I'm going to start. I was about to start from tomorrow, but then I realized I don't have the time and the bandwidth to do start it from tomorrow only. So I think I'm going to start it from 6th of Feb. So what we are going to do is this is going to be a wonderful workshop where we're going to meet every morning at 8:45 for half an hour. And we are going to read a few pages from the book called The Mirror Work. Okay. So this is the book. I don't know if you can see. Okay. So this is the book called The Mirror Work. It is again written by Louise and it has several practices that we are going to do first thing in the morning when we meet. And then after that, in the afternoon, I'm going to send you some journaling prompts, and then you're going to journal about it, just like 3 4 questions. And then in the evening, I'm going to send you something called a heart thought, again, which is written by Louise. It's beautiful affirmation treatment. And then at night, as Louise is saying that my voice can put anyone to sleep, so I'm going to share a voice recording which Louise has recorded for these 21 days. So every day you will be receiving like a different voice note at towards the end. So I'm going to do all of this starting from 6th of Feb, which is called the Mirror Work Exercise Workshop. And the energy exchange for this is 2100. And if you want to register, you can register using the link. I'll just share the link with you here in the group. And also I'll put it up on our WhatsApp group. So if you feel that this is for you and you want to go deeper in what we have already done, then please feel free to join this. Okay? All right. Where did my Zoom meeting go? Okay. So I'm going to put it in the chat here. So you can join this on my website. You can see this is a link to register. I'm going to let it be here for the rest of the time. I'm going to read, and then I'll take you through the affirmation treatment, and then we'll close the session. Okay. All right. I would also like to share my thoughts about aging with you. No matter what the age we are, we can always let go of our baggage and break through a new barrier. Let me tell you about one of my later breakthroughs. 10 years ago, when I turned 76, I decided to do something I'd never done before because I was always afraid to. I took up ballroom dancing, and she was 76 at that time, imagine. I had wanted to dance since I was a child, but could never get up the courage. For many years, I'd said in the next lifetime, I'd be a dancer. It's too late to do it now. Talk about a negative affirmation. Then one day I passed a dance studio with a sign outside that read, "We teach you to dance one step at a time." And I thought, one step at a time. Maybe I could do that. And then the thought that followed was, I am going to live quite a few more years. Why am I waiting for the next lifetime? And so a new era began for me. The first 2 months were absolute hell for me. I dreaded the lesson on Wednesday afternoon, but I knew I had to go through with it. I think I held my breath the entire first lesson. Every little kid piece of garbage, every little kid piece of garbage I had left in me came up. Embarrassment, humiliation, and shame all flooded through my body. I couldn't even find an affirmation to fix it. One of my early teachers said one day, "Louise, I can just see the fear in your eyes. Where does it come from?" I couldn't answer right then, but later that night I really thought about it, and the answer was that there was a part of me that was convinced that I would be hit in the face if I did it wrong. Pay attention to all whatever I am reading, okay? Because this is how our patterns are built and this is how our triggers show up. That was a real revelation to me. The little kid inside me was terrified of being slapped, and I was 76 years old. At the next lesson, when I told the teacher about my breakthrough, her eyes filled with tears and she was turning, and that was the turning point for me. All those feelings began to subside and I could concentrate on my steps. Now, 10 years later, I have taken many private and group lessons and it has become great fun for me. I often go dancing, so my dears, if I can do it, so can you. It's never too late to learn something new. The older I get, the more important my health becomes to me. I eat simply protein, vegetables, and some fruit. I'm not a vegetarian now, although I have been. However, I do eat lots of vegetables. I no longer consume wheat, dairy, sugar, corn, citrus beans, or caffeine except on very rare occasions. And I exercise more than I used to. The practice of yoga entered my life when I was 75, and I have been taking classes several times a week. I have actually become more limber than I was as a child. In addition, I take Pilates classes and I walk for an hour 3 times a week. All this helps my body in good shape. In October 2007, I had my 80th birthday party. What a gala occasion it was. The entire Hay House family of employees and authors was there, all of whom I love and adore, and many of my personal friends attended too. As I looked out over the festive gathering, I announced that the coming decade would be the best of my life so far. The whole group loved hearing that. I even received a special Louise Hay rose. I loved having a rose named after me. This really touched my heart because long after I'm gone, its pleasure will remain. I also received a beautiful Louise Hay orchid, a yellow cymbidium. The cymbidiums are only available to those in Southern California who can grow them outdoors. That whole evening really began my fabulous 90th decade. Who knows that the next 20 years hold for me? I have some ideas. However, life knows so much more than I do. One of the next subjects I would like to teach is how to make dying a joyful experience. We have so many negative beliefs about death, yet it's normal and natural process. We are all born and we all die. Why we are so frightened to die? We weren't afraid to be born. My feelings at the moment are that if we learn to live a joyous life, then we will automatically have joyous death. I guess I will have to show people what this type of passing can be like. I shall explore this more and then I will share my findings with you. All is well. Life is good. Louise L. Hay, Spring 2013. Okay. Oh my God. So that was reading You Can Heal Your Life with all you lovely people for this beautiful journey which we started on 13th of November. And now today we are ending it on 31st of January at 1 p.m. exactly. Okay. So now this is the affirmation treatment, the last one that I'm going to read. And then after that, do you see there is another affirmation treatment which is written like in like a handwritten kind of note? Arey, yeah. Actually, I thought you were there. What happened? She dropped off or what? She dropped off
I
the.
think some network issues. So some people have been dropping off and on. Some network issue could be there at
Okay.
their end.
Hmm. All right. So let's read the last affirmation treatment. And then this is a very important affirmation treatment, the last one. Hmm? So we'll do it the way we do it in every reading. I need you to just sit back comfortably. And this will take us another, say, 5 to 10 minutes to read both the affirmation treatments. Just close your eyes. Very carefully. In the infinity of life, where I
Two
am,
o'clock.
all is perfect, whole, and
Both
complete.
the competitions at 2 o'clock in seminar hall. Have your lunch and come. Thank
Okay, I had to mute Achal. Each one of us, myself included, experiences the richness and fullness of life in ways that are meaningful to us. I now look at the past with love and choose to learn from my old experiences. There is no right or wrong, nor good or bad. The past is over and done. There is only the experience of the moment. I love myself for bringing myself through this past into the present moment. I share what and who I am, for I know we are all one in spirit. All is well in my world. Okay, so with that, you can once again get ready to listen to the final affirmation treatment. All right, so this is once again center yourself. Keep your eyes closed. Deep at the center of my being, there is an infinite well of love. I now allow this love to flow to the surface. It fills my heart, my body, my mind, my consciousness, my very being, and radiates out from me in all directions and returns to me multiplied. The more love I use and give, the more I have to give. The supply is endless. The use of love makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy. I love myself. Therefore, I take loving care of my body. I lovingly feed it nourishing foods and beverages. I lovingly groom it and dress it. And my body lovingly responds to me with vibrant health and energy. I love myself. Therefore, I provide for myself a comfortable home, one that fills all my needs and is a pleasure to be in. I fill the rooms with a vibration of love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel this love and be nourished by it. I love myself. Therefore, I work at a job that I truly enjoy doing, one that uses my creative talents and abilities, working with and for people that I love and that love me and earning good income. I love myself. Therefore, I behave and think in a loving way to all people, for I know that which I give out returns to me multiplied. I only attract loving people in my world, for they are a mirror of what I am. I love myself. Therefore, I forgive and totally release the past and all past experiences, and I'm free. I love myself. Therefore, I live totally in the now, experiencing each moment as good and knowing that my future is bright and joyous and secure. For I am a beloved child of the universe, and the universe lovingly takes care of me now and forevermore. And so it is. With that, take several deep, easy breaths. Get ready to come back to this time and space. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes, the big smile on your face. And now please switch on your cameras so I can see your lovely faces. Um, Pratisha, you have a question. Is this the new edition book? No, the one which I am reading is actually this one. So this is also like just have to.
Okay, because I have the book which I purchased somewhere around 20 years back.
Okay.
So the last chapter that you read out, that is not available in my book.
Oh, okay.
I have been following Louise Hay books since 96.
Hmm. Wonderful. So is this the one you have, like with
No,
the
this is
yellow?
not the one.
This
No,
is not
this
the
is
one.
not the one.
Okay. So this is the one. Now there's another like a latest version available, which is
Hmm.
yeah, that one.
Okay,
So you
okay.
can
I'll just
pick
think. I
this.
can. Is those available on the store or should I book it online?
You can buy it from Amazon. It's available on Amazon also.
Okay,
So the same
I'll
copy.
purchase it
So you can, yeah.
because today's story was heart touching.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. It was like we never expected Lois to go through all this pain. Listening to her videos on YouTube is like always motivating us. For me, from the day I learned Reiki and got my first book, Heal Your Life, from that day it is like her book is solution for every problem.
Absolutely.
And recently, from past 2 years or so, anytime I feel tensed or some discomfort, I just plug in her videos. I plug in my earphones, play her video, and it is like within minutes, my pain is released. It is like I still feel she's with me. I don't know if many of them feel or not. It's like she's a friend. Anytime I'm in pain, I can go to her and talk.
That's so beautiful. You know, for me personally, Luis has always been like a guru to me. So every time, when I'm going through some, like you said, problem or when I'm in dilemma in life, then it's like the answers come to me. And sometimes it
Yes.
comes through her words, and I have almost all her books. So
But
it comes
now
from
listening
her
to her
book.
story is like, how much has she gone through? Our pain is nothing. She's gone through a lot.
Absolutely. And we need to derive inspiration because that's
Yeah.
what she wants us to have
Yes.
that inspiration and a sense of motivation for our lives and also share it with another people. So my
Yeah.
way of sharing this wonderful work with all of you was a part of Louise's teaching, and the reason why I became a teacher of Louise's philosophy was This was one of the biggest reasons. So, all right, we are at 112, the last
Yeah.
section. And I'm going to just ask the thing which we do every weekend, that I'm going to ask you to share how it was for you, maybe just one or two words, and then we'll close the session.
To be very frank, this was like this sessions for me were like just a movie playing in front of me. I have read Heal Your Life n number of times because that is a kind of Bible to me wherein I get answer to all my questions. Even though I have read so many times, but every time you start reading, it is like something moving in front of me, completely visualizing. It is as if I am seeing a movie where Lois herself is telling to me. It was really a wonderful experience. Thank you so much for this thought and bringing us to you reading out and helping us. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for that.
thank you. Honored. Okay, Gargiji, I'll come to you. You raise because you raise your hand. So let's hear from you what you have to say. Gargiji, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm trying to. Yes, I just want to appreciate and thank you for the sessions that I could attend today. I unfortunately got a bit late, but then I could join. And you had made me do an affirmation to write every day, and I have done that, and it has really made uh, me clear in my mind. So I don't feel any more pain in that area. So thank you so much, because I had told you I was very accident prone, and the book has come to me like it was predestined and for the discussion. So thank you so much, and I hope I will be able to attend your mirror workshop also.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for paying attention to what I told you last week and writing it down. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Rupaji, let's hear from you. How was the session for you today?
I
Oh,
think she's
sorry.
written she's
Rupaji
not
just
able to
sent me
talk.
a
She
message
won't be
that.
able to talk. Yeah.
So I'm going to read out her message to all of you. She says, not able to talk. Just want to say thank you for bringing Louise again in my life. Thank you, Rupaji, for showing up for all the sessions that you have. Okay, Jyotiji, let's come to you.
Just grateful for the whole sessions. And thank you so much.
Your expressions are saying it all. Thank you so much. Okay, Varsha, let's hear it from you.
I think I was impressed with the last 10 minutes, because even at 76, she was willing to take up ballroom dancing, A, and B, she was willing to face whatever came up. She'd done the book, she'd written the book, she'd created the hayride, she'd done all of that. She was famous, she was well known, but still, whatever remnant was there, she was willing to pull it out and deal with it. The humiliation, the shame. She put herself through it, knowing that only when it's out, she could be completely whole. And maybe that's why the movie came about when she was 81 and not when she was 75 or 76. So I am in awe of that. I've read the book, but maybe this part I didn't pay that much attention to. Or maybe that, like they say, when you listen, it's different. When you read, it's different.
Yeah.
So that was a big inspiration for me, that it's never too late. And you can clear it out at any age. In fact, I have a friend who just had a very high cancer marker yesterday. And I was praying for her last night. I also believe prayer works wonders. And she was like Lester Levinson, God, now you do it for me. You provide. and it's going to go through. So that's one of my favorite things because that's what I do in life. So, I mean, that's just a reaffirmation that life is happening for you, not to you. So I
Absolutely.
loved it. I loved hearing it. Didn't realize how much I would enjoy hearing it.
Yeah, a lot of you have been telling us this. So we're working on bringing another book reading session to you very soon. So stay tuned. Stay in our book reading club called Magic from INU Club. And in the You Can Heal Your Life book reading club that I conduct for intuitive wisdom. Yeah, so stay in our um, book reading circles.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But I was walking around while doing it because I've realized the older you get, the more you need to walk.
Yeah. Also, eat healthy, take care of your body, isn't it?
That I've been doing. I'm 66 this year. So I just need to keep more mobile. That what happens, we tend to sit a lot more. No? So that will come. But I'm very, 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 very because maybe I read the book about the symptoms and the disease and all that. I didn't read that last part, that last bit as diligently as I could have.
Mm.
I really, really enjoyed today's session. Truly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up. Okay,
Thank
I'm going to come to Upika now. How was the session for you? And thank you for attending so many sessions and being there.
Yes, and you would see we started on 13 November, today 31st. So 13 is equal to 31. So it took me that. And coming to my personal experience, I've joined in late, but yesterday while my walk, I have put a forward to the question to universe because somewhere I was stuck. And today, when you read the last part about her age and she taking up activities when she's 76, I thought, yes, though we are quite very young to take up any kind of risk that is involved into our life. So I think today's that last part of reading was an answer that I received from universe through this reading. Thank you so much. That I'm looking forward to another book reading, and yes, it has been great connecting with such beautiful and blessed souls. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to you. Take care. Please sip some water and
Yes.
pay attention what's going on when you are saying those words and coughing, you know?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Aditi, let's come to you. Let's hear from you, dear. How was it for you?
Amazing, I should say. Wonderful, all these sessions, whatever I have attended, Priya. Thanks to you for so. I mean, you are. मतलब जैसा आप सुना रहे थे ना मतलब जो हम सुन रहे थे इट्स लाइक सो सूदिंग मतलब इट्स जस्ट टचिंग योर हार्ट मतलब जो जैसा द लियर वन said ना कि पढ़ने में वो मजा नहीं आता लाइक listening to you is is somewhat magical and I'm looking forward to more such sessions from you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you for taking out the time and please take care of your health. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so who is left? Anchal already wrote
May I
great.
pipe in one thing? May I pipe in one thing?
Yeah.
Both your dates starting and finishing add up to 15. Number one is new beginnings. Number five is media and communication. So and number six by itself is a very, very, very number of love. So I think both your dates are very auspicious.
Thank you so much. All right. So Anchal, do you want to share something? How was the session for you? Okay, all right.
It has always been a pleasure attending this session, and I'm highly grateful to the universe and to all the friends who have just put me into this. Grateful to you, immensely grateful to you, because I have just heard of the authors like many of these, but I have never sat down to read the entire book. For the first time, I have listened to this book through you, and I feel that it's the best way to grow, have a personal growth in all aspects. So thank you, Priya, for your gesture that you have taken up this book reading session. And even further, you think of that. So it's an immensely grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for showing up. Achal is one of our members who showed up for almost all our sessions. We are grateful to you. Actually, it's our
Thank
combined
you.
energy. That's what makes these sessions so beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to come to Pooja and then to you, Sonali, finally. Pooja, would you like to unmute yourself and
I
also switch
think
on your camera?
Pooja is traveling. I think she
Oh,
wrote a message. She's must be driving her.
oh, acha, acha, I just caught up on her message.
She wrote a message. She's driving.
जी जी प्रिया जी, लास्ट सेशन है। थैंक यू सो मच, आपने इतना लंबा टाइम हम लोग के साथ मतलब स्पेंड किया। मैंने बताया पहले से, इस तरह का रीडिंग सेशन हो तो आई वुड लव टू, मतलब आई जैसा भी लोगों को पसंद आएगा कि अगर ऐसे बुक रीडिंग सेशन होने लगे, बिकॉज वी एक्चुअली एक्सपीरियंस नॉट ओनली जस्ट रीड। तो इट वाज अ डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस एंड फॉर मी इट वाज फर्स्ट टाइम। बुक्स को ऐसे भी आप एक्सपीरियंस करते हो। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you to you too, Pooja, for showing up. And I remember last session आपने मुझे बोला था कि अब मुझे पता चल गया कि मेरी लाइफ कहाँ पे स्टक हो रही है और वहां से आई विल टेक इट अप, है ना? So do remember that and start working. Okay. I have a message from Jagruti also on my WhatsApp. One second.
Okay, she hasn't joined today. Oh, yeah. I think she has attended all the sessions. It's only today she's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So this because this session is getting recorded, Jagruti, we miss you. I want to say that. So you can see in the recordings. All right, Sonali, let's come to you. Then we'll close the session.
Yes. So yes, what a beautiful, beautiful journey with you, Priya. 2 months. I think I'll also, I wanted to pat myself that I attended all sessions live. I think barring one session where I had another session to attend. So I'm happy about, giving my 100%, being present here. And of course, the journey with you was very beautiful because of the fact that a lot of people also spoke about. I've also read the book earlier. I'll just mute Rupaji. Yeah. I've also read the book earlier, but reading it and listening it through somebody, that makes a lot of difference. And of course, I was introduced to this book long back, but I had read it on and off. And then the day we met, I took this book from you, and you suggested me to read the last story, which we read today first. You
Yeah.
told me, Sonali, start from there and then go back to the lessons. So when I started reading, I had read it like that. I had read the last story first, and then I had gone back and read the whole book. So uh, revisiting it with you was, of course, deepening all those beliefs that we sometimes forget. And of course, we are in this space, so this is like a good reminder to keep coming back to her teachings. And I don't know who mentioned, there is a connection that I also felt with Louise, throughout the book reading. And I also hear a lot of her videos on YouTube. Been listening to it for a long time now, and I also resonate very deeply with her teachings, and they are beautiful. And the way you took the whole session, I think it was amazing, Priya. Thank you so much for patiently taking us every week, reading it out. So it's been very beautiful. It feels like itni lambi movie chal rahi thi 2 mahine se, and now it's coming to an end.
Yeah, absolutely.
है ना? So it's yeah, there's a sense of ending, but there is also a sense of very good feeling of completion of completing the book. Mm.
That's what
So
the whole idea is about, that we get this sense of completion because it's not just about reading the book.
yeah.
It's also about remembering the practices that we did.
Mm.
तभी तो कुछ मतलब है ना, नहीं तो
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
just reading and going about doing our business, then nothing in our life would change.
Mm.
And you see how she's given exercises. So
Yeah.
my idea was to take you through all the exercises patiently and then make you do all the sharing. And as a group combined, that whole energy that comes together,
Yeah. True.
so that's very vital for why I conducted this book reading. And this was my intention. Okay, Opika, you have something to share. You
Yeah,
raised your
yeah, yes, yes, yes. I wanted to ask, I've missed the initial November and December. So now when I'm going back and sitting with the book reading, I at times feel disconnected. So as Sonali have mentioned, the way that you have asked her to read the book, is there anything that I can go back and read? I am confident about from the body part, from where I've joined regularly. But before that, there are a lot of been missing. So I just now heard Sonali sharing her experience to read the last chapter first. Is there any method, Priya, that you can suggest for me to read this book, the initial parts?
see the initial part, then you have to start from chapter one only. Because
And we have the recordings also, Priya.
yeah,
So
and
maybe
we'll have
open
the recordings.
go through the recordings. You can start where Priya is speaking in the recordings, right? So in
Oh,
case you feel like you can go back to the recordings where we are doing this live.
oh, sure. I'll correct. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for your lovely presence. And please stay in the WhatsApp group because that's how we'll stay connected with each other. And we will let you know. So, the next program I already declared, I'm starting with the book, The Mirror Work. And I've already posted the details if you want to join. I'm going to repost it here again. So you can see in the chat box. It's on my website, so you can join 21 days of mirror work. So here we'll be reading another book of Louise called Mirror Work for next 21 days, starting from 6th of February. First half an hour in the morning, and then we will do the mirror practice because for every day it is different. And then in the afternoon, we'll do some journaling work. In the evening, we'll read hard thoughts together. And then at night, I'm going to send you a loving meditation, which has been recorded in Louise's voice. And I have all the recordings. So I'll be sharing that with you. So another 21 days of transformation, going deeper into what we have already learned from the book You Can Heal Your Life. Okay, all right. So everyone,
Yeah.
thank you so
Just
much.
wanted to close that this, Minu is not around, and I was just wondering, she wanted to do a grand closing of the whole event. So the whole event was organized by INU Club, and Priya also has her own, way in which she works around healing and coaching people. So either ways, you can be connected through the club or through Priya, whatever is comfortable to you. And of course, INU Club is bringing up more such book reading things. And so I think most of you are in the group. So we'll just announce it in the group what next is coming. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Sonali.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Grateful to you for posting about this group. Really. Well done.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Varshit.
you so much.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say I've not been reading the book only, I've been gifting the book also to whoever I
Wonderful.
feel in.
Yes. Mm.
Wonderful.
Even I'm gifting the books to my daughter's friends.
Lovely. Cool. We'll take a leave.
All right. Thank you. Take care,
Yes.
all of you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank